Here we go. All right. Let's see. I need a shareable link. The hardest part of streaming is getting this shareable link. All right. All right. Get this over to my other screen. Yep. We've got the hyper train. All right. Oh, okay. Good to know. I can't. I think I remember seeing your username somewhere else though, too, right? Like the actual Cygnus. I think I remember seeing that somewhere else. Oh, well, turns out you guys see my ranking so far. First off. Right. I was on this map. This map is called Javelin. This one's an interesting one. So this one's main feature is basically you've got these 1x ramps in the center and 1x ramps going to these corner bases. And so the idea is you go through the 1x ramps and it's faster. And then you've got the 2x ramp to the natural here that is also has some minerals on it. So that's going to be really, really choked up. But it is much faster than just going around. That's the idea. I don't know how good of an idea it is. What is that? What is that knocking? Oh, okay. Apparently somebody's doing construction or like hammering in something downstairs. I have no idea. Anyways, let's see. Share some. That's good to know. I'm just reading some killers' messages here about results. Okay. I don't know how many people are here. Should I be explaining things or should I just explain things later? Because I've already kind of gone over these. Or I've gone over this one and a couple of other maps. I also did Dragon's Teeth and I did Crimson King. I liked Crimson King by quite a bit. I should judge map space solely off of aesthetics and names. What do you think I've been doing? Like I already know BF 1138 is getting nuked. You know, like, what are we doing here? BF 1138? Oh, it is kind of pretty though. Yeah, we're gonna wait. What the freak is going? What the heck? What the heck? Every time I open a map as a joke, it's freaking insane. What is going on? Time to not read the map maker comments and forget that I looked at that at all. Anyways. Crimson King. I liked Crimson King quite a bit. There's no third base option on this at all, like triangle third, that is. Instead, that it pushes you to expand all into the same corner for each player. This conflict base. This conflict base right here is pretty cool. It's got 10 minerals on it. I don't know why. It just kind of exists. I don't know. But the interesting parts of this map for me were these Xel'Naga towers, and specifically how this forward third interacts with the gold. Because if you take this gold and the forward third, then the defensive rotation is significantly longer than the attacking rotation. And I don't know. I liked a lot of things about this map. I like that these Xel'Naga watchtowers are they can see just right here. Technically, you can send some units past it on this path, though you can't really send an army past it on that path. But this watchtower kind of can be taken by either player, I feel like, and will be taken by both players at different times. Obviously, for Zerg, you'd want to have this to spot incoming drops and all that for the majority of the game coming in your main, but at the same time, like, how many drops are going to be coming in there? Because, like, they start over here, all your bases are over here. It's kind of interesting to expand all in the same direction. Not often do you really see that. I don't really see either player being able to take, like, this player can't take this base, which is cool. It's very close to the main air-wise, but I don't really see that happening. Same for this one. Oh, I should have checked. I should have checked if tanks... No, tanks can't hit that. There's no way. Tanks might be able to hit that gas from the main, but I kind of doubt it. I'm not entirely sure why it was made so that Blink was entirely non-viable in to blink into the mains, because already, if this main just goes forward a little bit and you can blink in, then, I mean, you're already got a longer path to come to the net. It's already not going to really be a great blink map. I don't know. It just doesn't feel entirely necessary to entirely nuke blink from existence, but c'est la vie. All my kind of QA checks generally checked out. Taking this forward third, I feel like is going to kind of be... I'm not sure whether or not Zerg would want to do it, because you can spread a lot more creep, but at the same time, there's a lot of chokes here, but you can also get... I don't know. It seems like a very well thought out map, and I like that it took kind of one idea. That was a freestyle idea. I guess, admittedly, it's not a very interesting idea of just not having a triangle third. In saying that makes it sound incredibly lame, but that it took that one idea and then it actually made a really good map out of it, instead of taking 1,800 ideas and then taking a good map and shoving the two together and hoping that it kind of works out. I don't know. This one's a lot more tame, but it doesn't quite feel standard, which makes me personally like it a lot. Anyways, Dragon's Teeth was really confusing. This one's I'm not gonna be judging this one very well, just because. So first off, there were a ton of QA issues, along with, in the mapmaker comments, it mentions like slow zones at the 3 and 6 bases, which I'm assuming it means the 3 and 9 bases, forward bases, hidden inside of slow zones that create a temporary wall. There's no slow zones anywhere on this map, I checked. It also says split center, but technically Technically, it's not. I mean, it kind of is for larger armies, but you're just going to have to choose because larger units can fit through the center. It's just, and they actually also mention that. They mentioned that it's like it only allows small units through. These hybrid bases are also a bit strange. So I checked out the mineral values on them. Two of these three rich patches have 900 minerals. The other one has 1500, like, just a normal. And then both of those normal minerals also have 900. But the weird part was that, can I zoom in a lot more? This one also has 900, and this one also has 900. There are only two like high mineral count minerals here. There's like this one and this one. So this base just has straight up a much, much lower amount of money in it. I did like that it mines out faster so that you can actually use this as like you're not going to have that weird thing where only a couple units are trickling through, like the map feature is. But in terms of actual bugs, it was really weird that he said there were slow zones. There were no slow zones. Colossus can walk through, not through, but around these zones right here. So these, the Dragon's Teeth, the main feature. They can walk up around on this high ground, kind of, and they can just basically pass through these here. They can also pass through right here, and like over here. So Colossus, I kind of had assumed the Colossus were intentionally going to be included in the units that are not allowed to move through the large pathing blockers because it's like the only unit that Zerg has. Or not Zerg, that Protoss has that is large at this point, I think. I think it's the only unit that Protoss has that it counts as a large unit. And then the biggest damning thing for this map is that, and most of the map is standard, it's just kind of rake layout, but it's basically just a rake layout with mostly standard stuff except for this one part. And there comes the biggest problem, because I think this part of the map is not very well implemented. Like, you've just got this corridor here. You've got this gold base that, I mean, I don't understand what is going on with this gold base, because it's technically mineable from the back, but you have these two line of sight blockers here specifically with the intent of not letting you mine it from the back. So I guess you would be mining from this base over here. I just don't understand why these are exposed from the back like they clearly are intentioned to be. If you can't mine them from the back, and you're not going to be harassing your own kind of base. And then that rock feels ridiculous too. Like, if you mine out this rock, or if you destroy this rock, it just opens up a spot for you to stick a bunch of siege, like Protoss versus Zerg. You just walk in there with Stalker Colossus. You kill that base. I mean, you're not going to be able to get surrounds or anything. I mean, against that one's not the damning one. I'd say the more damning one is just Terran always existing. I hate Terran. I hate that Terran always exists. If Terran could stop existing for short periods of time, specifically when I play the game, that would be very convenient. But I feel like the main feature that makes this map unique is not well implemented. I think there are a lot of ways that it could be improved, and then on top of that, it's extremely buggy. And I'm not sure if Colossus are supposed to walk through this or not, and that drastically changes the map. Because if Colossus are supposed to be able to walk through there, then this gets a lot better for Protoss, obviously. But that's pretty much it for this. I didn't look at the rest of the map nearly as much or nearly as intensely because It's relatively standard, and this part of the map was really where the interest comes from, and I just don't think it was good. So, there's that. And here's my current rankings. We got the board. Things are obviously gonna change as I add more maps or think differently about maps and all that. Like that, just because I said so. Yay. Yeah. Obviously didn't like Dragon's Teeth very much. I think it's got a cool concept, though. I just think that it's a kind of a cool concept, just really poorly executed and very buggy in a way that makes it really ambiguous on what the intended behavior is. Because I'm not sure if Colossus are supposed to be walking through there, and I think I'm going to say that they aren't supposed to. But it just needs more time. It seems like we have maps like that where it's just like gets past and gets into ladder, and then it's just like, well, we wanted to fix that. We didn't. And that's something where if I liked it and I voted well on it, and then it turns out that wasn't a bug, it's just too ambiguous for me. So I kind of went with, mentally I went with the version I think was the worst. So, this map has 2x ramps, 1x ramps. That's supposed to be the fastest route across the map, but it's also supposed to be risky. So the idea is you're careful with how you move your army across the map. And then, of course, you've got these bottom left, top right bases that are only really used much later on in the game, but the idea there is the same. I kind of disagree with the premise. I don't think that a 1x ramp... So, earlier on in the game, where the 1x ramp is going to be a severe problem. Well, I mean, it's a problem at all times, but earlier on in the game, you don't really have map control. You don't have people on the map fighting each other for map control unless there's like a Terran push across the map and you're trying to, take pieces off with stalkers and stuff like that. There's not much of that where the matchup doesn't just flip, like the other player has the map control now, you can go home because you don't want to get caught out kind of thing. And apart from that time in the game, so when you get to like mid-game or late game, 1x ramps are not nearly large enough to be faster. Like, it's going to be faster to move around the 1x ramps in mid or late game, I think, than it is going to be to go up it. Because you're going to be so bottlenecked. Like, if you have any Archons in your army, if you have any... Well, not Ultras, because that doesn't really... But, if you have any footprint to your army whatsoever, moving up that ramp is going to be slower than just walking around. Admittedly, after you knock down these rocks, but that's also kind of the point. I would kind of much prefer if they had done the 2x ramp here as well and put like minerals on it or something. Or rocks there or something. I don't know. Just something so that it could actually adapt to the point in the game which you're playing at. Because 1x ramps have all the risk of losing things because you're going up it, like it was saying in the comments. They must make key strategic choices while waging whether to use the fast, narrow pathways or the longer, open paths. Like, you might take a terrible fight going up or down these, but it's also not going to be faster. It's risk, but no reward. And the default path that I think your army is always going to take, well, no, I don't think, I know. But if you right-click across the map, it's going to use those two. And so I think it's going to really, really punish poor, not as good players for just not using the extra APM to take care of things, which is not something necessarily that should take points away from the map, but it's something that I don't like because the game isn't only the pro scene. And that is something that would really, really be frustrating for a lot of people. I don't know. I think there'd be a lot of situations where you'd see people right-click across the map and then get super punished for it. Kind of the point, but it feels less like a decision and more like a careless mistake. Like, yeah. You're never going to want to use that later on. It's never going to be useful later on. It's never going to be faster later on. It just is a mistake bait. That said, I really do like the concept of the map, and I really like what it's trying to do. I think it's cool to have that kind of feature, but I can't help but feel like it'd be better implemented with a bigger ramp, and then part of it being cut off earlier on, or like I don't know, slow zone or something. Make it harder to move up it or whatever. Though, admittedly, again, a slow zone would really make it, again, slower. Maybe a speed zone on the 1x ramps. I don't know. Really, I just have problems with how much of a mistake bait it is going to be for a negligible benefit, if not downright negative benefit. Yeah. The space and ramps are supposed to be kind of wider the further away they are. And the other thing I was thinking is, what happens if you put a planetary on this base and a single or one or two tanks? Then the enemy basically can't move up that ramp, or even, especially if you like added a bit of a wall or something to that. They're never going to be able to move up that ramp into that with a ground army without taking significant losses. I think this base, the concept on this base, could be better executed potentially if the base was back a bunch and then you had some open space in front of it, so that you at least can't defend from the base. You kind of have an open space in front of it to kind of set up to go in, but it takes a lot longer to come in and out of that base. So you could potentially get, like, I don't know, like trapped by the enemy army coming in to help defend it. Stuff like that. Because with this, it's just a defensive choke point, really, and it's going to be extremely hard to kill this. Anyways, I don't know. Have I put this on here yet? I have not put this one. This one's Javelin. That said, I kind of like the rest of the map as well. It's just solid. I mean, it's pretty much, you know, it's kind of, I mean, it's just solid. I like the rich. I always like rich bases, admittedly. Although this will enable the proxy hatch ravager fun stuff that I know everybody loves and enjoys as much as I do. Anyways, I think the main gimmick, I'm just trying to figure out where to put it. Could you give some feedback on El Dorado? I've got some specific notes on El Dorado. Have I put them in yet? Here you go. You can screenshot this. This is what I ended up putting, mainly. The number one thing, I was going to take points more, I don't know, points off, but I was soured a little bit by the fact that there were only 5 minerals in the mineral wall in the middle, because that makes you able to proxy Stargate, basically. Really, really nicely, really well, or whatever. But that's something, I don't know if that was intentional or not, or it wasn't thought of, that would allow you to get in there and proxy. Hi. That would be something that could be fixed in the iteration phase of the tournament. So I didn't really think too poorly of that one. That didn't really affect much. Because I would imagine in the tournament, if the players are like I am with seeing that potential, then there could just be an immediate proxy Stargate game. We could see if it was bad or good. But it's just super easy to fix. I don't know. The other thing was that... Let me just open this up real quick. It was interesting to think about how mech could work with taking first, second, third. Open this better. Mech could work with taking first, second, third, and then just kind of potentially fourth, and then mining, back mining this even, which could be interesting because mech really is gas limited. But I don't know. This could be a fun map to see mech on. Especially with how you can knock these rocks and really limit the amount of area coming in from the opponent. There would be a potential situation where like mech takes the whole bottom area of the map and then kind of like pushes into the main. I don't know. I don't know if that would ever happen, but it's kind of fun to think about on that side of things. Generally, I thought it was good. Obvious Golden Wall clone, but still pretty good. Like, I mean, it's even got the golds in the same place as Golden Wall. Yeah. And the other thing, oh yes. Did I even put this in here? Yes, I put it in here. So, in Golden Wall, the mineral wall goes out of your main. And if there's a drop coming in, etc., because of the short rush distance naturally on reflectional maps like this, you could blink onto the other side of the mineral wall to go chase the drop potentially and stuff, and I did see that in a few games. On this one, there's all this gold here and stuff, all this doodad fill. You're not going to be able to really chase them any further because you'd have to be chasing from like here to the nat. That's not as much of an issue, or not very much of an issue, but generally I liked it. Yeah. Where'd I put it? Yeah, I put it in the category of things that I like pretty much. I might have to revisit A Heart of Darkness. That was one of the first ones I looked at. I have to keep reevaluating everything in relations to everything else. Was this the one that was the big one? Yeah. That was interesting. No, I'm not going to move that at the moment. I've got some funky stuff going on in good maps right now. The order's messed up a bit onto things. Antimatter was also interesting. Antimatter was interesting on how it was changed from last time I saw it. Antimatter previously was super split map and I really hated the layout. Just period. I really hated the layout of it. Now, this pocket base is not nearly as much of a pocket. Admittedly, yeah. And yeah, we're not supposed to judge based off of aesthetics. When I saw this in last TLMC, I was like, dang, that's really cool looking. And then I was like, super hyped about it, and then I started looking at the layout, and I was like, this is a travesty, because the layout was awful. It was super split map, and then I didn't think it was that interesting, and just, like, previous version of this map had this gold and this base even closer to the main and nat, so you could put tanks to deny both of the bases. And then it was just relatively standard otherwise, but it also had a pocket base. I do not like pocket bases in general. I like them a lot more in scenarios where you can... I like the pocket bases a lot more in situations where they can be opened up. It is still very easy to take. Was this changed? The other thing I wanted to look at was for public release here. I really like what happened to this base over here. It was previously a normal base, but now it's a gold. It's harder to move to go around, defend, whatever. The enemy is going to be able to mine this in the late game. That's immediately basically fixes pretty much the split map issues that I had with it. It is now able to be opened with a mineral wall. Previous version of this, let me find it. Not here. Wait, Space Lab 20XX? Is that the same thing? Oh, that's funny. Space Lab 20XX turned into Space Temple 20XX. Quite funny. Wait, really? 4 seasons? Is this the 4 seasons I know? Yes, this is the 4 seasons I know. Wait, but it's a little bit different. That is actually very interesting. Anyways, I am getting off topic again because I've played on this. I played on the 4-player, like, kind of free-for-all version of this map an enormous amount of times in just free-for-alls. It's quite fun. It did not do well, it seems. Anyways, is it freestyle then? Where is antimatter? I swear it's in here. It'll be macro. I just don't see it. Oh, Goddess of Fire was pretty high up there, surprisingly. I am in macro. It's right there. What the heck? Did I... Oh, there it is. Okay. Yeah. So, once again, I remind everyone, these are the judges you have for this TLMC. Okay. Let's see. Did they change that at all? I'm just looking for some... I want to open this in another... There we go. Oh, there we go. Oh, a good amount of things changed, actually. A lot more than I... No, not a lot. It's actually really, really interesting to see the original version, because the original version I also critiqued quite a bit when it was out. Basically, in this version, my idea was just playing defensively. You get free 3 bases, pretty much, just as a nat, or the extra free base, just turtling on 2 bases. And then, after that, you can just move to here and defend 2 chokes, move to here, and then pretty much keep defending 2 chokes. And you can take this base fairly easily once you have this base. If you sieged up tanks, let me see. They didn't change it that much on that account. Technically made it a little bit worse. No, made it a little bit better. You could just kind of siege tanks up around here, and they would just hit most of this attack path. And then you'd be mining off of 6 bases here without ever having to touch this area. Yeah, no, everyone says... I have actually gotten half saying Shazam or Flash, but you could also siege up tanks over here. They hit this base and this base. Basically, you can just turtle all game long, and the enemy can't even take your bases because they couldn't be hit. Which is why I think the changing of this, first off, it can't be hit by tanks, so you can mine more than your opponent if they're doing nothing but defend. Then this right here, this mineral wall, it's not going to usually be mined out unless you're, of course, trying to take those bases. But if your entire army is on this other side of the map, I think it's possible that this would be mined out, especially later on. I don't know. I think it was a big improvement from the last version of this. This also goes down to low ground now. There's ramps here. Actually, I think it looks even better now. Oh, wrong one. Huh. Some interesting small changes, actually, as well. Actually, kind of opened up the map a little bit, too. Interesting. And, of course, move the rocks there. Yeah, I think the bases are much harder to take. I think, overall, in this map, the infinite turtling is very much less of a problem than it was, which was my main concern with it. The only other thing, this isn't super freestyle, not that that matters that much, but funny 16-bit map. I really like the changing of these bases over here. At first, when I saw this, so admittedly, I did see this before the TLMC was announced, or before I knew I was judging at the very least. There's my jacket. And I was like, why the hell did you do this? How much cocaine have you been smoking? And then they're like, oh yeah, no, it's all freestyle. And they're like, and the amount of just pure crack cocaine my mind has been on this last week has made me see this as the most normal thing I've ever seen. To just see a gold paste with, like, this is so mundane considering all the war crimes I've been subjected to by you guys. Anyways, moving the plateau in front of the natural third with the 2 ramps further away so enemies can first rally to that location before actually... Yeah. Let's see, where is this? Plateau in front of the natural third. Yes, I see what you mean. I also like the introduction. The map with the 20 spawning pools wasn't even like the final straw. Like, that was weird. And I still have nightmares. By the way, for the past 2 to 3 days, I have been dreaming about maps. Like, I only see like mineral lines every time I close my eyes. Like, this is awful, but it's also really fun. I've been spending way too much time on each map and all that as well, so it's been taking a lot of time. But so by the way, to finish this up, I like the map actually. I think now layout wise, I think it's actually pretty good. But some of these maps, man, what were you doing? You can't do this. Like, I mean, admittedly, the map with the 20 spawning pools, it's like, I get the purpose of all these spawning pools. I mean, I don't know that you needed to use 2 rows of them. But, like, why do we have spawning pools over here? Yeah, I've already... Joke's on you, I've already doxed myself like 5 times. Like... I might get hate mail. I mean, not any more than I usually get though, so. These spawning pools right over here confuse me. I don't know why they're there. They bleed out at like 3:30 or 3:45 or something. They don't open up anything important. I'm just confused. I'm so confused. I mean, why is there another gold base here? It's just kind of there, Also, the deco does kind of look a little unfinished. There's like somebody mentioned, the trims would really help this one out. Just trims would make this look so much more finished, which is awful to say. I shouldn't encourage anyone, but interesting. I mean, if they haven't made a lot of maps before, it's very impressive how professional it ended up looking. but I can kind of tell that this is not one of the normal map makers. It's all the little things that you can tell that kind of add up. There's a lot of cool things in this map, though, at the same time. I don't know. The infestation pit on that gold base. Huh. That's also interesting. The infestation pit on the gold base would be kind of cool if you just took Pride of Aldaris and then just slapped that, like, that infestation pit on a Pride of Aldaris base. So it's like, yeah, Zerg wants to take it as their nat. Too bad there's a freaking infestation pit on it, you know? Like, that would be a really, really cool way to use that specific feature in just a normal map in that same way. But I digress. I already went over that one quite a bit. I was supposed to be placing Javelin. Hello, Volumen. Javelin. Yeah. Well, I mean, and I'm just trying to be a lot more kind for, especially on the side of decoration for a lot of these, because so many of these maps had to be rushed out because we got, like, 3 weeks to do all this. Do you know if decorating more on some of these would be possible in iteration? Would that be an option? Because there are some of these that it's like, I kind of like the layout and all of that, and I think it's really cool. But there's like a bunch of small things, like whether it's bugs or just, yeah, that's the real problem. I don't know if I did Last Fantasy on stream as well. I did these on stream. Oh. Okay. So that's really nice, because I think there are a good few of these that I feel like would really need a little more decoration. Or maybe not need, but you know, it'd be really nice to get some more. I also looked at Crimson King. I put Crimson King right above Among Us. I mean. I really like this one. My favorite thing, and I kind of did it at the beginning, I talked about it at the beginning of the stream if you want to rewind, but I like the watchtowers. I immediately had a gut reaction to regurgitate and burn this map because of that gold base. I was like, what is going on? And then, well, maybe not that extreme, but I like being extreme. But I kind of like that gold base. I don't know. I like a lot of things here. I'm not sure how it would play out. And it kind of takes one freestyle thing and kind of just fully goes with that one thing instead of trying to do 8 million different small things at the same time. Javelin. I need a freaking place Javelin. Where am I putting this? Corruption. Where were you? Ghost River, Royal Garden. Ironically, the rotation... Yes, the rotation of the gold base is very much not easy for the defender. The rotation of the gold base, especially... So if you take this forward third, I feel like you can't take that gold base until much later on, where maybe you'd be defending over here or something, I don't know. Because it's so much longer for the defender than the attacker. I kind of feel like you might want to take this top base before you take that gold. I'm not quite sure exactly how it would work out. The pros would have to figure all that out. But it's also quite nice for like Protoss. You can take these 4 bases and have pretty short rotations between all of them. And then I really like those watchtowers. Moving on, though, because I've gotten no new maps done. Haha. This is why I don't stream as much. Javelin. My main complaint with Javelin was basically 1x ramps aren't big enough to even make it a faster path. If I'm moving a mid or late game army through the middle, 1x ramps do not have the throughput to move big footprints of armies through them to make, it's not worth moving through. It's basically what it boils down to is the situations where it should be used in the intended way. It's not going to because of the way that map control flips. I do and don't want to write up all these map comments because I keep making the succinct points. Anyways, my point basically is the times where people will use this map feature will be the early game when there won't be anything else on the map to abuse the fact that it's a choke and a risk. So like Ling's going across or Stalker's going across. And then the times where that flips on its head, it still flips on its head. You can't just stay out in the middle of nowhere trying to catch the enemy if you are already going to lose the fight no matter what. Like, especially because you can't engage down, they can't engage up. It's a standoff spot. You just force them to go around, which in some cases could be good. But basically, it's going to be mistake bait. Later on in the game, you're going to right-click across the map to go attack somewhere. Your entire army is going to start funneling through this tiny spot. And then when you're halfway through, the opponent's like might be there. It's just going to be, those are early game ramps only. But if you right-click across the map, it'll still move your army through it in late game. So I would like it if a lot more... it's a very much a noob trap. I would like it a lot more if they were something like 2x ramps with this kind of thing. I think these are well implemented. Later on, you are going to mine that out. And then it will be a good size for late game. 2x ramps are really punishing. You don't want to walk up to 2x ramps already. But early on in the game where it's important for it to be this small, it will be this small. And then on these corner bases, planetary and a couple tanks seems horrifying. 3x ramps with 4... Oh, yeah. I always forget. I keep forgetting about spawning pools because I'm trying to repress the memories. Really, really funny idea. I really wish we could have a lot more HP in Zerg buildings for that one feature. Because if we had like a 2k HP Zerg building that's going to bleed out, then we could have just the time release charges on all the rocks or just, areas or whatever, instead of just everything dropping at like 4 minutes like it is right now, less if you attack it. I think that's kind of on my wish list. Anyways, these corner bases, siege a couple tanks up there, put a planetary up there. If I have a big ground army and I'm trying to attack into that, and I'm running into a planetary and tanks, while I'm trying to walk up the ramp, I don't even have time to kind of spread out and come at it all at once. It's just awful. I think this would be greatly improved if the minerals or the base was pushed back, there was open space in front of the base, and then you had that ramp. And again, it maybe should be a 2x, but it doesn't matter as much here as it does in other places. But if the ramp is here, then it should probably also be a 2x. But really, you either need space to approach or to spread out before approach, or you need it to be a little bit bigger. Because I actually kind of think the idea is cool here of making it hard to, forcing the player to actually commit to killing this base before they do, instead of just walking in, killing it, and getting out. So you could get trapped from the back because it's also a dead end. But I think there's just better ways of implementing it. That was pretty much it for this map. With these videos, I'm not sure. I'm kind of tempted to, instead of putting down judge comments on the sides here, if I kind of I don't want... The only problem is I can't assume everybody's going to watch these, but I'd kind of rather put like a link to these videos where I explain it. Because typing hurts. Anyways, I don't know. I think that was it. Javelin, let's see, where do you go? The mediocre maps section is maps that could be played. I'm basically saying like bad maps are maps that I wouldn't want to see on Pro Scene. No, those aren't strict categories. I need to figure out my categories here. Doesn't really matter. I only have 4 anyways. I'm not sure where to put this. Yeah. I think it needs... I just think that 1x ramps are way too extremely new punishing and then not even relevant later on. I'd kind of... I don't know, you could have a gentleman's agreement with the opponent even if there were some, like, rock towers where you, like, drop the rocks on that one path so that you can both stop right-clicking across the map on accident. I wonder how many players would actually allow those to stay up. That'd be a funny experiment. But really the point is more just that it's not an iteration change to change those 1x's to 2x's. I don't know. Side note, I had an idea for Kill Switch. Was a map that I actually quite liked. But there were a couple notes on it. Where am I? Let's see. Tactical nuking anomaly by showing every... So, listen, it wasn't until some people joined the chat that I realized that it was their map. Also, specifically, never mind, I have no defense, really. I mean, people want to know about their map, what I thought of their maps, and I'm just kind of... I mean, No, they didn't tell me. Bro, it's so easy to guess. It's so easy to guess. Gilded Veins has this feature right here that I actually think would do really well in Kill Switch. So it's got a 2x ramp in the main that has a 2k HP 2x2 rock to make it a normal wall off. In Gilded Veins, there is no reason that that should exist. Like, why would you ever want this to be bigger into your main? Like, are you planning on rotating in and out of your main a lot? I did kind of like this map. I have to disclaim while I'm trashing this feature. I think it's a really cool feature, but it feels like a feature that was included for the sheer purpose of making sure... Okay, I am my weak point, my blind spot, really, of matchups is probably mostly TVT. But anyways, I feel like this is just kind of a feature that exists, regardless. There's not really any reason to put it specifically in this map. It just is there. And then, a map that I do think would benefit greatly from that exact feature would be Kill Switch. Because Kill Switch has got this option where you can rotate in and out of your main through this kind of back of your main area, which I kind of would like these minerals to be moved a bit to the side so you can actually walk through here a little bit better. Or just the gas rotated would be great. But if this was a 2x ramp with that kind of feature with the 2x2 debris here, then you could open it up for better rotations later on. And then this whole idea, I feel like, would be benefited from that. I think that'd be really cool. This map, I think I like it, but I'm so on the fence about it because the thirds are pretty far. But I also, this is a really insane map. They put a lot of features in here, but they put a lot of effort. And actually, to be honest, I'm not exactly sure whose map this one is. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure whose map this is. I mean, I have a couple guesses, but I'm not exactly sure. But I have no idea how this would play out, and I don't really have any guesses much of who it would favor. I just kind of want to see this one get played, to be honest. I think it'd be really cool. At one point, I went very much in depth in this in a previous stream. So I'm not going to do that again. But this feature right here, I think would greatly benefit on that map. Also, this map also, I think, probably has one of... There are two approaches to the healing shrines that I've liked so far. There are two approaches to the healing shrines that I've liked so far. There's the completely open. If you get caught here and the enemy sees you on it, then you're kind of screwed. And then there's the other kind of, I think it was over here. Oh, the grid, I didn't put this as red. This one also had an interesting one. It doesn't work super well with the terrain. This map kind of lacks different attack paths or rotations or whatever. It's kind of funky just with rotations in general, but I did like the healing shrine. It's a complete dead end. If you walk in here to get on the healing shrine and they find you, in this case you're also still screwed because you can't get out with ground units at least. That said, you can put air units on that, and that is actually just much better for air units, but I digress. This one's special feature was that the line of sight blockers over here that look really funky are low ground, is what I imagine it is under the hood. It's one of two things. Either the entire map is secretly line of sight blockers, and only these spots are not line of sight blockers, which would be the funniest thing I've ever seen, and I'm afraid to look under the hood and see if that was the case. Or there's a low ground here, just from a technical standpoint of setting that up. Because basically, when you're on the inside of these, instead of being able to see out normal line of sight, you can't see outside, they can see in, I think it was. Let me read it again. Inverse line of sight blockers. There you go. So, low ground. Really compact low ground. There's a central healing shrine near the bottom. Yeah. Wait a minute. Is this a ramp down? No, it's not. It can't be. There's no way. There's no way. No, it is. Oh. You see, this is why you open them in the editor. Anyways. I know, I should just do this on now. I just had all three of my neurons activate at the same time. This is a special moment for me. It's 5 levels, yeah. Yeah, wow. Wait. Why does that look like such a shallow ramp? That was weird. Yeah, this is 5 levels. So actually, that's significantly... And I didn't think it was because it's kind of hard to tell from the overview that it is. I can see it in game that it is, but I kind of feel like they could have gone with a slightly more obvious coloring scheme for each level. That would make it more obvious to me that it's actual different levels. Because I saw trimmed, white, black, white, black. Oh, I have to know. Oh boy. Wait, what? This was not one of the options. I mean, it kind of was, I guess. But I did not think that was going to be lowest ground. Wow, okay. I guess that was pretty on the money. Not entirely, but pretty. Also, what the heck is this background? This is like the coolest background. Iron energy wall, what? Yes, so I think for iteration, or one other thing they could do as well is they could do black outside, white inside, and then they could do this for this one, and then black for this one, and then for this one they could do black inside, white outside, and then they could do that because you have a good amount of combinations. Mixed, one color, and then they do like black inside, white outside, and then you just have only one other one to change. I don't know. This is something Killer invented. Spectrum is so funny. Yeah. I'm so happy that I actually guessed exactly what that was as well. Well, not exactly, but pretty close. Man, this background is so cool. Oh, it's even got a hex shape on the hexes. How is this? I've never seen this before. I've never seen this doodad before. This must be model swapped. This has to be model swapped. Just the grid in the background. Anyways, map itself. Well, yeah, it changes an enormous amount knowing that this goes down a level every time. And that is a really cool feature. The lowest ground or the reverse line, the reverse LOS, line of sight LOS, which is easy to say. There's quite a bit of craftsmanship in the doodadding on this one, or on the everything in this one. Oh, wow, it's fun. I need to disable doodad so I can actually judge the map, like a little kid. How close is this? I can't do it, I'm not strong enough. That's quite nice. Alright, that's not too far either. Alright. And the freestyle, I'm assuming the freestyle thing on this one, yeah, there was not much on this. The freestyle things are that it's 5 levels and that it's got those. Huh, okay. Wasn't Spectrum all like 2 cliff levels, or was Spectrum 5 levels? No, here you are. The one contest where we could have submitted Monument of the Makers again. Well, I guess that's not the one contest, because he did it every time, but... Well, I mean, immediately, this third is extremely easy to keep. How many... Please, by the way, put the resource amounts for the fields in your descriptions. It's super helpful to not have to do this. And I'm not sure all judges know that you can look at that. I'm not sure that that's able to be assumed. And I don't think it's good to have any of them doing guesswork. But I digress. Also, Ashengard had asymmetry on the mineral amounts. These minerals right here, the 5 marked ones, have 5, and then on this side, the 5 marked ones have 10. Just as a heads up. So, what was I doing? I have 10 here and 10 there. 10 and 10. Okay. So this is 30 to mine out a single tiny spot. Yeah, easy to fix, small mistake. I assumed that it would be fixed in iteration. Didn't take any points off of that. These don't... Is this intentional? I'm not sure this is intentional. Not Ashen Guard. Get out of here. Are blocked. I don't think this is intentional, because some units should be able to fit through that. Either way, 30 minerals each. I moved them. 30 minerals each, and that's a total of how many? That's 18. Or it's 100. My goodness, 180 minerals total. How many trips is that? That's like, it's gonna be 2 trips per. It's like 4 worker trips. So it takes about a minute for 1 worker to mine through a section of this. Yeah, like 6 workers take a minute. That's not too bad. How many are over here? I'm trying to do so much math. Never do math, kids. 12. It's not too bad there either. How many is this out? 10. Man, that's still so funny. Oh yeah. Nope. That's not gonna work. We're gonna have to test that in game. I get a lot less talkative when I'm actually doing anything. How does this work? That doesn't work, does it? Wait, that does. Oh, that's a full wall. It'd be nice if this was a little more visually obvious that it was a full wall. Because I kind of just did that thinking whatever, but that is definitely a full wall. Huh, okay. Unexpected, but a surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Nope, still works. Alright. OB pillar here. OB pillar there. I mean, it still does share that problem that I was having previously. The third is easy to take, especially earlier when you do have both of these full of minerals. I'm assuming this was a mistake, and they didn't want just one ling at a time to be able to slip through there. Assuming that does work. Oh, that is how it works already. Yeah.
Game.
Unless... I don't think that worked quite right, but that might be intentional. I mean, the path isn't really that much shorter either way. Whatever. No. I don't know. The infirmary decal is fun. I saw it used on one or two others. The third is going to be really easy early on. There's not anything to really dissuade drops coming in over here on this bad boy either. Is there dead? I mean, this is also dead space. Yeah, this is also dead space. I mean, not that it really needs that on every map. One of the biggest problems is that I am of the strong opinion that mineral walls are always to be for the defender to mine out. I don't think mineral walls are ever really... They are very rarely offensively mined out. These will be in a position where they are much more easily offensively mined out, though. Since it's not like you're going to be keeping army or an eye on these. They're much further away, much closer to your opponent. They're not exactly 5 minerals apiece, but these make a lot of sense to me. Because this is like, yeah, you want to go take this base? Well, mine this out. You want to attack this base? Go mine this out. These are 2x ramps. They just look super funky. Yes, that's what I meant, editor. I see whoever made this map also had fun with the background. Constantly being mean to them. Okay, so it is just a 2x ramp. The main concern is a lack of different rotations. Primarily the infirmary here especially is a big perpetrator of this, because you can kind of attack in here and then just kind of try to run around here, but it's going to be so much quicker for the defender there. You can try to... if you take these 3 bases and then just have an eye or have any defenses over here to stop these from being mined out, which it's really just these right here. If you prevent those from being mined out, you only have to worry about defending in one position. Here, for 4 bases. You have 3 high ground bases. This ramp does help quite a bit, relieve that. But I don't think that's quite enough. This being bigger. And then taking this base is also rather easy after you've got this one, which is your only real 4th base option. You're not really... Only one person can take the gold, and I don't think that's your normal option. This base is pretty easy to obtain after this one, because if they want to attack it, they have to come... can I paint? I can paint. Not like that, though. Oh, perfect. I found my painting brush. If you want to attack into this base, you have to go all the way around. I've got the same cliff level option. You have to come all the way around like that, but the defender only has to do this. Really, all of the defensive rotations are significantly faster for the defenders. Up until these two bases, maybe? And there's no movement from top to bottom in here. You have to go... If they were defending this choke right here, you have to go up. No, that's actually fine, actually. No, forget I said that. If you go up, then you can probably get into here. And going around and back up is harder to go from here. This base, in retrospect, seems kind of hard to hold. That's actually kind of interesting how that interacts. This is going to be a hard one to defend because of this angle here. My initial reaction to most of this is highly deterred by the fact that this is lower and this is lower. That makes the map just significantly better. Ironic, the way that they made the map is better than what it looks like. Not bad. Probably spent too much time on this. Main concern, though, is just going to be 4 bases are going to be quite easy to get. They're both fairly close to that nat. And you only really have one choke point to defend. For Zerg, they're going to be able to mine this out defensively to get surrounds and stuff. So they'll be able to surround anything coming in here. The reverse low ground is cool there. And I haven't thought much about these being the low ground at all. It's kind of hard to wrap my head around that. It makes it harder to attack in from here because this is just... Or harder to chase them away? I don't know. How does this even interact? Huh. This is actually such a cool feature. You can do a lot of cool stuff with that. It's very different. I hate how every time I want to immediately trash on a map, I end up finding out that there was a good amount of thought put into different parts of it, and the immediately obvious broken, assumedly broken things that you spot are just like, well, no, this and that precaution. You know, why can't everybody just make terrible maps and then, like, 4 good maps? Yeah. Oh, I have another map I want to show off, speaking of that. I think it's pretty good. I actually kind of like it. The biggest concern I have is that super easy to secure third. Yeah. Hmm. Because that third is very easy to secure. Hmm. Oh, and then thinking of TBT, I won't it be much harder to move in? No, I guess the whole point is you have Vikings and stuff for contesting air control. But won't it be much harder to move in with this here in a TBT kind of situation? Like this is basically, well, this is a low ground. Yeah, it's a low ground without edges. It's so weird because you can just move off of it. I'm trying to internalize how that would function in relation to just normal things coming in. I mean, it's just that just makes it harder for the attacker, really. Which I don't know if it's necessary, though. This is a pretty big choker angle or whatever. I'm kind of medium rare on this one. Why am I a steak? I don't know. Hmm. I think this base is really interesting, primarily because it's hard to defend. Yeah. Yeah. Generally, I don't really think about the mirrors at all. It's kind of funny though. Zerg does affect judging a little bit. Yeah, Zerg does affect judging a bit though with the evil walls. It's kind of funny. I think that's the most impact any of the mirror matchups have on maps, right? I can't really think of anything else. Because I mean, PvP doesn't care really at all. I mean, just the normal stuff they do in other matchups, they care the same. But funny. Okay. Grid. Where's my sheet? Heart of Darkness. Heart of Darkness was the big one with the weird stuff going on, right? No, that's Corruption I'm thinking of, probably. Oh, Corruption was a whole nother bag of cats. Oh yeah, I need to show Winter Eagle for a second. Um, Winter Eagle is one of the map of all time. Let's see, Heart of Darkness. I might be rearranging this one a bit. Yes, this one. I need to come back to that later. This was a hard one. It was kind of a Golden Wall clone, but um, add a note. Kind of Golden Wall clone. Well, yes, but heart shaped with 4 high-ground bases. Wait, I didn't even put it on here? There we go. Winter Eagle. So you do have Winter Eagle, which I am glad that at least some people are trying to. I don't know. Every time I look away from the picture, I can form coherent. Anyone else who would read those comments would be really confused. Golden mark, heart shaped. Ah, yeah. Every time I look, I have to keep looking away from this picture so that I can have coherent thoughts. Because every time I look at it, my brain goes just dark for a few seconds as I try to understand what I'm looking at. The map maker, it's so difficult to actually understand. It's amazing. It's really funny. This map is a semi-air map. I'll read it from the other monitor. I need to grab some tortillas. This map is a semi-air map in that terrain is fairly more difficult to navigate by ground than by air. No, it's worth noting that the nat-to-nat distance is 53 seconds, the ramp-to-ramp distance is 63 seconds, and the main-to-main is 68 seconds. So, it is fairly more difficult to navigate by ground than by air. The map has a large rush distance due to its main and literally central feature. I forgot that reading it also gives me aneurysms. The map has a large rush distance due to its main, and literally central feature, which is a valley between ridges as a central navigational point, offering the opportunity to develop strategies around this unusual terrain feature. I have to kind of split it up into a bunch of different words, because every time I try to read it all at the same time, I have to comprehend what I'm saying, and it's so difficult because it's kind of like the uncanny valley of reading. Like, my comprehension can't understand it, but my eye. So I try to rearrange the words mentally. Anyways, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know where they were putting the 63 seconds to ramp. It must have been from main to main. Their nat to nat distance is 53. Basically, the rush distance, and I already have this downloaded because I had to explain this to a friend I was in voice chat with. Time to look at all of my Minecraft mods that I've been downloading. I was trying to help my sister get into a Minecraft thing here. Great stuff. Modded Minecraft is great. If I finish this line, all my brain cells will die. And there we go. So yeah, this is insane. They really went full on the nearly air only. Yeah. So, and the kind of crazy thing is, your gut reaction is like, I hate everything. I hate you. I hate this game. I hate everything. But there was at least some. There is some, thought put into this at the very least. Majority of the map is very open, surprisingly, but there's like no paths anywhere. Basically, they fixed the whole defensive and aggressive rotations thing by not having any aggressive or defensive rotations. It should go via the central third base and not to the edge. You're right. Slightly shorter. One, two, three, four, five, 6 bases per player. And the quote that was said in voice chat when I initially saw this map was, Winter Eagle should have been Desert Eagle because it makes me want to put one in my mouth. Yeah, like, I don't know what I'm doing anymore. You know it's a good map when it gives you an existential crisis, you know? This is what I'm talking about. Like, they didn't use any spawning pools on this map. They just did this. They didn't need the spawning pools. Anyways, um I don't it need a strong word. It is a freestyle contest. It's really insane some of the things that you I just want to know what kind of mutilation everyone did to their frontal lobes during the 3 weeks between this contest being announced and the maps being submitted. Like, I feel like judging these is giving me a lobotomy. I mean, it's great, to be honest. I am kind of like smiling as I say this because, yeah. Well, yeah, it is insanely hard. And I think one of the other hardest things, from what I've seen so far of the maps here, I think the other hardest thing in this contest has been finding something that is new and original, but doesn't involve you taking just a rake layout and then shoving like 18,000 pounds of ketamine into the map in just one area, or just like, just adding all kinds of like, oh, let me go down the list of all the things that are allowed and choose like a grab bag of 6 of them, You know, there's quite a few maps that are just an overload of different features that are sometimes tangentially connected to what the map actually is. There we go. Basically, a lot of maps lack cohesion in what they're trying to do, is what I'm trying to say. At the very least for this map, I can very much say that this map knows exactly what it's trying to do. And it only really has the one freestyle aspect. Yeah, I really wish I could have gotten some of the shrooms when I was judging, You guys weren't supposed to use them all. You were supposed to save some for the judges. I guess it's payback for all the other TLMCs, right? What happens if I do this? Yeah, about as expected. Why did I do that? I don't know what to think of this one. Those mineral patches do really seem like worth mining out. I also don't know what to think. I also don't know what to think about the fact that this is just a straight shot across the whole map, and like, I don't know. If you put tanks right here, can the enemy ever attack? Like, I don't know. Isn't this just Terran heaven? I would kind of think so, but there's quite a few areas where it is pretty nicely open. What are the mineral node values again? Let's see if they said. Uh-oh. There it is. I'm assuming... I just clicked on the picture again. Why did I click on the picture again? Unusually small, low. Yeah, I'm sorry, whoever the map maker is on that one. I wasn't even... No, I gotta look. I gotta let you guys look, and then... I have no idea who this is. Yeah, no, the map makers... I mean, if you're gonna attach a Google Drive link... then be prepared to get doxxed. Just in future TLMC information, Well, I know who it's not because I know that it's not somebody saying that it's a 4-level freestyle category short distance map. Anyone who wasn't here last time knows that now that's a meme because One person posted on every map that they made that it was a 4-level freestyle category map. It's so funny. Anyways, I looked at Winter Eagle before. Apparently now I have to do more. Dang it. This is how I die. I'm just gonna have a stroke looking at your guys' maps. I'm gonna die here at my computer on live stream. Technically, Antarctica is a desert. I mean, yeah. This map is called Desert Eagle. This is 20 minerals total. Also, holy crap. How many doodads are there on the map? 300, less than 400 minerals, or doodads on the map. That is insane. Anyways. Um, 20 minerals, easy to... It's easy to mine if... I mean, it's kind of down to... I can feel my life force slipping away with every passing second. Let's see. Oh no. Mine 300 minerals off of... yeah. But here's the thing. There's no gas geyser nearby. Checkmate! This is the closest geyser. So, get wrecked. I just made a worse wall. I mean, it's not optimal, but it's not a bad wall. You're just gonna have to put a queen in it. Yeah. Why are we here? Only to suffer? I mean, technically, this is pretty good for Blink. If you just destroy the rocks first, which is a very important footnote. New meta. Bring 4 workers with you to mine this out with Blink. Oh. Is everything a 2x? Like, I really don't want to ever leave just 0 feedback on a map. But I really don't want to type something up for this. I just put, you know what you did. You know what you did. Yeah, like, tank's back here. What are you gonna do? Come fight me? I mean, and then there's also the classic thing. I kind of feel like Zerg doesn't have a ton of great options on just island maps in general. I mean, yeah, tanks are good. I mean, it is a semi-island map, so it doesn't really apply. I think Zerg needs... Honestly, I think a great thing for making island map games would be if we got a balance patch that made it so that Zerg had a more reliable way of getting onto and off of islands. Or if you could do something where you could rally production straight to. No, you can rally production straight to Niduses. Maybe if you could auto unload Niduses, that could help a lot for island maps. Because then you could actually rally your dead production hatcheries on an island over to the rest of the map. I don't know, stuff like that, or just a buff to dropper lords. Something like, I don't know, every overlord turns into the original every overlord turns into a dropper lord when you get the upgrade at the hatch or something. That would allow Zerg to have a lot easier time. Maybe you bundle that in even with OV speed, but I don't think so on that one. I think that might just be too much, but I don't know. Terran always makes medevacs every game. Protoss always makes a warp prism. Zerg does not make dropper lords every game. It's just kind of a I'm feeling lucky Google search kind of situation. I don't know. I think I'm just gonna go with hatchery gaining an ability to spawn a mini Nidus that can only be placed on creep. That Nidus is already insane, but I think the biggest problem for Zerg is that there's a huge APM tax. I mean, okay. So actual criticisms. We're gonna start actual criticisms. Jeez. What am I doing? What am I doing with my life? Oh no. Oh no. They're relatively standard. This is bad for my mental health. I mean, it's a little far away, but come on, the rotation to get there is insane. Once more into the breach. So, obviously the clear intention is ground is not viable. Semi-air map, yeah. Where's my editor? There it is. But if I just siege tanks here, or over here. Well, first off, if I siege tanks here, I can hit almost this entire thing. If I siege tanks here, can I hit that whole thing too? Pretty much. You can't really ever move a sizable army really through this area because tanks will be hitting all of it. And then the only other... Is that feature executed properly, and how would those air battles play out? This is good. So, firstly, I'm not... Oh, okay. Yeah, you were half an hour behind, and we're still on it! I am in so much pain. Please. Please save me. So my main thing right now, the intention is to push players into playing air. And this is a good way of thinking about it. I think I really like that way of thinking about it. Is it successful into forcing players to play air? Well, let's just use TVZ as the example matchup here. Got decentralized, whatever. Well, if you're the Terran player, then you can eliminate Zerg from existence with siege tanks, at least defensively. The only other question is, can you then also push? And I think the answer is probably yes. If you just have tanks up here on this high ground. So, the first base that is obvious that is going to be awful is going to be this one. You're going to be able to obviously hit this from the low ground. With this tank, pretty much, I mean, if we move it back a little bit, it can directly help this siege tank back here. Like you have that little layered thing, like you do, where you just have the tanks going back. Can this hit a hatch? This can hit a hatch. Like, I don't think that this map will stop players from playing ground. Like, missile turrets, so the reason why island bases aren't broken for mech is because you have to drop the mech in. But if mech just gets to move along a slightly open single passageway with cliffs everywhere from one side of the map to the other, then mech is going to do mech things. If you only have two ways to get across the map, and mech has a siege tank, then you're not going to play ground. And with missile turrets and shouldn't it be missile turret? It should probably be missile turrets and doors. Although they have cyclones now for anti-air, which is pretty cool. Basically, I think mech will push across the map and kill every Zerg ever. And Zerg is already disadvantaged in island-type situations. Like, you can't rush to Broodlords the same way you can rush to battle cruisers, or you can get out. Like, Broodlords are strictly a late game thing. You can't do any rushes with them. Not really. And, I mean, for mutas, you also kind of need. I just don't think this would. I don't think a Zerg. I mean, this is what we need. This map is what we need for Cyril to lose a game. Because you're never going to... So, for this, we're just going to make what this map looks like to Zerg. Where is it? Where is it? There it is. Not quite. How would creep spreading look like on it? Map made by a BC Terran player. Yep. So this tank can't reach, so that base is safe for now. So for a Zerg player, I can't touch this side of the map. Well, actually, I need to do this differently. This is more along the lines of what this map looks like to a Zerg player. At the bare minimum, this is kind of a little bit conservative. This is a really easy base to keep. But, I mean, you're one base down against mech. I don't think creep spread matters that much when you're one base down against mech. And this is kind of assuming that Terran never pushes across the map at all, and they're just defensive the whole game long. And they are just kind of killing whatever they can from their side of the map, like you see, like what I just deleted that base. Because Zerg's never getting that base if Terran has tanks around in this area. You're never going to get up to this. This is a 2x ramp right here. Yeah, you're not... I don't know about that one, kiddo. And then, like... Minerals, ideally, if you were playing mech, would not be able to get mined. Even if they did, it's still a 2x ramp. The triangle base in front of the main should have a second ramp so that it has a more direct path to the slash main. This right here is what you're thinking. That would greatly help mech not be nearly as good, and it would help make it so that you could actually take this base. This is not this player's base though. Actually, like this belongs to the left side player. If there was a ramp there, then it could be a no. It would belong to this player, maybe. I mean, there would be an incentive to mining this all out. That would make the map substantially different. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, I'm moving on. But, brain melt. It's a corner base super far away, but if it's, I guess so. If it's an air map where you're only really playing, if you're really only playing air to air. Well, it's not that Zerg can't play on it. It's more that mech is insanely good. If it's only air units, then that's kind of a nobody base. I 100% agree. Oh. I need to go get a tortilla. I'll be back in less than 5 minutes. Specifically one tortilla, by the way. grabbed like half a loaf of bread. And I am going to consume it all right here. Anyways. I think I'm not going to do another dynamic right now. I don't think my brain can take that. Let's see. What do we got? Alright, let's do Silver Flame. I saw old Silver Flame. What the fuck? Huh. Okay. Well, Silver Flame changed. Backdoor to half base in the back block. Ooh, that felt good to say. Backdoor to half base in the back block by Big Rock and Minerals of the Triangle Base. Okay, I knew it was freestyle, but I've seen Silver Flame before. Like, okay, last time I saw Silver Flame, right? This right here was just a mineral wall, and then you had this whole, like, bottom area of the map, where, like, you just, you know, you need that mineral wall open to access kind of the rest of the map, because otherwise it's very far away, you know? And you could actually choose to just completely ignore this top right side of the map. It was kind of interesting. But apparently that wasn't freestyle enough. Did they, like... I'm half convinced at this point that they were dosing everyone's water supply with LSD. They, like, know our home addresses because we've all been doxxed on some judging stream. So they tracked down our home addresses and put, like, LSD in the water supply for this one. This is great. Anyways. Backdoor to half base in the back block by Big Rock and Minerals of the Triangle Base. Backdoor the front natural block by double row of neutral spawning pools. Spawning pools can only be attacked by one melee unit at a time. That's what's going on there, okay? And expire after 4 minutes in the game, at which point you can use the... Wait a minute. Just gotta take a bite here. Alright, at which point you can use the path to better access your third base and more easily expands towards the bottom left of the map, where a healing shrine hides behind a rich gas base. What? Oh, okay. I was gonna say, I swear, if they put the freaking healing shrine behind a mineral wall that is just the rich middle base. This is what you're doing to me. Like, I genuinely expected it to be physically behind, like in a nook behind that base at this point. Man. Short rush distance rewards an aggressive playstyle, while the half base in the back is a good fallback option. In case of a contain, you can destroy the big rock and mine the triangle base from the back. Oh! Yeah. Okay. Oh, and then I could have just read the succinct version. Nah, backdoor the half base in the back block by a big rock. That's so much more fun to say, though. Totally worth reading that. I kind of want to put that in just as a, like, you have to wrap that part if you're judging. I don't. Send help. Did I remember to... I might have like 5 things up in the editor at the moment. That might become a problem for my CPU later. Or... No, is that RAM? Nope. CPU doesn't like it, RAM doesn't like it. Not as much as I thought, though. So, these are all... Yes. These are all accessible from the back. That is really cool. Technically, you could even place an extra base over there to mine it even more efficiently. Nice. No tank spots. Uh-oh, is this going to have the same problem of Colossus? Probably not. Hopefully not. Maybe restarting the hill. I'm not stressed for RAM yet. Like, not quite yet. Once it gets to be a problem, I'll just close out all of them. I think I have the last couple documents up. I should be fine for this map. I'll probably just do it after this one, though. Okay, so... This is a 3x RAM. Yeah, this is a 3x RAM. What was the hotkey for toggling viewing power? Shift, comma. That was not even it. Okay. Huh. Surprised that that is wallable like that. Is that with a hatch? No, with a hatch it's like this. I mean, at the very least, you can wall it with 3 and a queen. We're fine. Cliff, cliff, Reaper, cliff. I am kind of curious on whether or not that would be a thing. Kind of interested because this one's actually not an issue. It's just, that is pretty close. And then this one was about 3. Yeah. Oh, that's fun. Custom splash. I'm tired of this one not working. Oh, V, that was what I was doing. Viz show map. We'll do B. What was it? Reveal. Reveal area. There's not an area, is there? Preset. Entire map. There we go. Layer 1 for... Do not check cliff level. Awesome. Okay. So that works. These will go out at 3:30, I think. Also interesting. Can you come over here? Yeah, so you can. How many can get up at the same time? Yeah, you can pretty much all come up. Huh. There we go. This is just for my eyes. Oh, but... Huh, okay. Well. Anyways, for my eyes. I hate it when the fog is up too high. Like, I know it's aesthetic, but... So the reason why we see a 2-layer spawning pool configuration being used for people is so rushes can't just hammer down the spawning pools. What? Well, the first time that spawning pools have been allowed in a TLMC is this TLMC. Like, neutral Zerg buildings are a new feature. But this person thinks, this person was saying that the reason they have minerals here is so that link floods can't just destroy these. Like, there's no, I mean, technically zealots as well, but no, it's for link floods really. But this is also really interesting because spawning pools you can't. Well, actually. Wait a second. That's actually really cool. So in ZVZ, I need to test something as well. In ZVZ, you can spread more creep. Alright, so, give it to them. Give it to them. Yes.
Not enough minerals. Not enough minerals.
Dang it, they don't have any money. Like, I'm pretty sure I want to test two important things with these. Speed 5. So the first thing, and that's funny that they're doing that. The first thing is yes, you can stop them from bleeding out using creep. Which is cool because in ZVZ, where you actually might want a wall off or something, first off, they're going to be a lot slower to get in because of all of these. These mineral fields are stopping them from being able to get the full surface area. And it's also double layered. And then you can also wall behind that, but it's going to take them a while to get through this. No, you cannot transfuse them. Yeah, that's what I was just checking. I was literally setting this up so I could see if we could do that. I wonder if that'd be interesting to be able to transfuse them. If that'd be a good or a bad thing. But for future reference, no, you can't transfuse. Alright. But at the very least, you can stop them from bleeding out. And you can do it with a single creep tumor. Because you can see right here, this one is regaining HP with that single creep tumor. This is really cool. So, Protoss and Terran don't have any way to stop these from being bled out. But it is a really choky situation here. Let's see. I just want to get rid of these. Get rid of this. Get rid of this. Oh boy. So yeah, you can really wall this with 3 depots. I mean, or the equivalent. This is pretty easy to wall. Why are you taking so long to die? Oh, it's because I killed the other ones, obviously. Or you can wall with... Why am I doing this the hard way? Yeah, you can wall with 3 here. But yeah, the fact that you get a pocket base is actually the most offset I've ever seen. By the fact that this, not only does this start with a 3x ramp coming into your quote-unquote normal natural, you also have this other way that opens up over time. And given that you can take this base, will these minerals get mined out by the enemy? I don't know. You only really need to kill or mine out one of these-ish. Would a healing shrine heal those? You can't place buildings on a healing shrine. I don't think. Let's find out. So for Blink, I was also looking at it. Well, you can't place them in-game, but I assume the question was aimed at... No, it doesn't work. The broodlings would get healed, though. So there's that. I can turn the healing shrine hostile. We can turn this gas hostile. I just have a hotkey for turning things specifically hostile. Hostile zone log tower. Anyways. By the way, iteration thing, I would love that fog to get turned down. Why is the... What? Inconsolata? Why is that the only... Why are there a couple of tiny areas where it's a different text? Whatever. Anyways. What do I think about this? Ironically, I kind of feel like it's unnecessary to make this a half base. I mean, given how exposed this front base is, this is one of the extreme few times where I think it's an improvement. Or maybe not improvement. You gotta choose to go over here for the most exposed one instead of automatically always going towards this one. Wait, excuse me, what? What? They're all 900 minerals. Huh. That's gonna mine out quickly. Yeah. Is it 6 minutes only for the first wave of mining out? Yeah, I guess it is. Yeah, it is. I I don't know why I asked that. I know that. Why is my brain bad? Anyways, um, it's something like that. What? And it's gonna mine out all at the same time too. This is the weakest pocket base I've ever seen. I think. What did I think of post youth? Oh boy. Oh boy. Post youth. Oh. Anyways, I actually kind of am liking this. The only weird thing is gonna be gas, I guess. I don't know. So this opening up, and once again, I think the minerals actually in this once again. Previously, I really liked this map because the mineral wall right here was excellent. It's something that only the defender would want to mine out so that they could better rotate around in the bottom section of this map. But now, I guess it's getting opened whether you like it or not. And now the one that you're going to want to mine out is this, so that you can rotate from your nat to come take this other base. Or potentially this base. Sieged. Nope. Get over here.
Game resumed.
Need something blown up?
Okay, Mm-hmm.
What's our target? Got him in map.
That ain't good. No, Zerg is gonna break down these rocks anyways, but
Game.
just a note. Mental note, always break these rocks if you're thinking about taking the space. Side note, I love the marker on exactly how much the Xel'Naga sees. That's super cool. I love that. That's decoration, right? Yeah. Can tanks shoot both bridges from high ground fourth as defender? No. I'm telling you right now, no. No. Just the one. And none of the second one. The only feature that I don't know anything about is that Zelnaga Tower. It feels like that Zelnaga's there. Like, I mean, so one of the hardest things here is that I have no idea what race generally is favored by Zelnagas. It's all theory crafting. And I know, and it's also a complete toss-up about where the Zelnaga or where the Healing Shrine should be placed, as well. In addition to its question of what race does it favor. So I almost feel like, unless it's obvious that it's a problem, then I kind of like don't know what to do with the information of healing shrines often, because it's so like, what's going on, you know? It should favor the one with map control, yes. And doesn't favor turtle. I mean, yeah. Counterpoint for Protoss, that could be really helpful for, I don't know, like Colossus or Immortals and stuff like that. Just, you know, the units that really get bruised and you can't, or just Protoss in general could really use that. But for Zerg, I don't think Zerg really cares about healing shrines until Ultras and potentially Broodlords. Right? It heals health. Only health. So for Terran, specifically Terran, the biggest benefits are battle cruisers, I would say, are the biggest benefit for Terran. Yeah, because free heals on battle cruisers are insane. Well, not insane, but just really, really good. For Protoss, it's just their general army can get healed up for stuff it normally can't get healed up at all. For Zerg, I would say probably Ultras and probably... I mean, Roach Ravager or Hydras and Lurkers, all those kinds of units, I feel like they might benefit a little bit, but they already kind of heal pretty well back up to max, or they die. Obviously, Lings and Banes are obviously completely useless for this. But Ultras and Broodlords primarily. So I think it's probably gonna... I saw the end of this game. You think it's 90% likely. It does heal multiple units at once. So, if I had to make a shot in the dark from random theory crafting off of like this 30 seconds here, probably if it's in a location where it's relatively easily accessible, it heals 14 a second, yes. If it's relatively easily accessible, it's going to lightly favor Protoss against... No, it's going to lightly favor Protoss, I think. If it's out of the way, or like in a spot where only really like harassment units and stuff, like, or like battle cruisers and stuff like that, I think it would probably heal Terran, or favor Terran. And I think it's mostly... And then I think late game... Depending on the armies, no, it does also heal carriers. It's hard to say who it would help the most in late game. But I don't think it's often going to help Zerg that much. Yeah, there's some cool things you could do with it. Like, yeah, like I can heal this amount of health every X seconds could also be cool. Like, it heals very quickly, but it has a maximum heal per X second. I mean, there's a lot of stuff you can play with, but what we've got right now is 14 health a second to air and ground units in an area. So, yeah. It'll be interesting to see healing shrines, you know? Yeah. That's all I got. I don't really know what to think about them, just generally. I think the only time where it will help Zergs, though, is the late game. Because you have to spread creep to it in the first place. Zerg will not Nidus it to heal up units. You know what would be so much easier than that? Because Niduses cost mineral and gas and a lot of APM. And if the enemy heard a Nidus and knew that that was a strategy, they would immediately just go take that Nidus out immediately, which is just going to be a constant drain of resources. Like, what Zerg would be much more... And Zerg would also probably want to have creep around the area or whatever. Like, in the late game, why wouldn't you if you could? Because every cent matters in the late game, and you don't want to be spending 75 minerals and 75 gas on something that you can walk to. So, most Zerg units are not worth moving out of position to heal. The exceptions would be Ultralisks and potentially Broodlords, but maybe a little bit less so. And the other problem is that Zerg naturally regenerates HP already, and Zerg has this cool unit called the Queen, where you make a crap ton of them every single game anyways, and then when you already have all of these for everything, and if you keep them into late game, you can just transfuse everything. So right now, the healing shrine for Zerg is transfuse. Like, pretty much that. And that's a big reason why I think Zerg has the least to gain, because they already regenerate HP for free, just slowly, which doesn't matter for most units, but for the units that do, that have a lot of health, like potentially Corruptors and Broodlords and Ultras, for those kinds of units, then yeah, it would matter. But for for those units as well, you can kind of just transfuse. It's just that you might not have enough later on. Really, the point is, Protoss can't heal health. They do have the shields, but they can't heal health, so it is just a straight buff to them if they can use it. And then Terran has to spend money to heal, and especially if battle cruisers. Yeah, that's actually a great point as well. Healing mech units is the main use case for Terran. Healing all units is the main use case for Protoss, and the late game healing units that you can already heal is, that one. So yeah, Hellions standing on a healing shrine will probably be invincible against Zerglings. That's kind of funny. Yeah, it is like a Terran ally in team games for Protoss, except you can also heal Zealots as well. Medevac energy is also expensive, yeah. If you overstim your bio, then this could be extremely useful. Like, extremely, extremely useful. Because actually Stim is the perfect example of you do damage to all the units, and then, yeah, Archons are hilarious. I just want to see an Archon just once on a healing shrine. I do have to go pretty soon here, but I think I like this map. I'm not sure if I like healing shrines, but I mean, this one's kind of out of the way. You actually have to, well, potentially. Can you imagine some siege tanks on this healing shrine? That'd be funny. I don't super love that this healing shrine is kind of blocked from view as well. But I really like the rest of what's going on with this map. I think it's super interesting that this base right here is going to be as open as a third, because that's clearly the desire here. And when it gets opened up more, well, it is going to get opened up more, but by the defender, because they want to rotate over to their triangle, quote-unquote triangle third. That they might also want these rocks down. I'm not sure about that yet, to get around. And it's also, of course, if you keep expanding to the top right, the less lucrative area. I mean, it is the less lucrative Lex Luthor area. You've only got one base in the top, and you've only got this one expansion over here. I think I like this map quite a bit still. So I'm kind of not touching healing shrines, like, mentally much. I'm just kind of like, is that in a place that's going to be really abusive, just, like, constantly? Like, is that going to dominate this entire map's play, This one might a little bit, actually. Maybe. I don't know. Let's see. As for blink, you can blink in past here. You can blink in up here a little bit. You can technically blink in here, but it's not very easy. And of course, you can just attack the normal way. What's it? OV pillar. Let's check this. That works.
We are one with the shadows. Very well. Cool.
Talk to me. ETA, 1 minute.
I am the heart.
Waiting on you. Heading out.
I am the void.
Where's
You require stick.
picking up or dropping off?
I am the voice of the eclipse.
Ready for pickup? On
Yeah,
my
that's
way.
definitely dead space down here.
Inbound.
It's actually quite a bit of dead space. Not see that. Wow. Doesn't look like a lot of dead space, but then it suddenly looks like a lot of dead space. I think it's because your camera goes down. Liberal use of bridges. Yes, very liberal use of bridges. So you can also hide over here. Just once I want to see like a medevac hide on top of an OV pillar. That'd be so funny. Although I actually have seen that. I saw that in a pro game once. It was like in the middle of the map and they were about to lose the drop, but then they went onto the pillar. It was the funniest thing. Actually, it mostly worked. I don't think they got away at the end, but it mostly worked. They gotta live an extra 5 seconds. Well, I think I like this one. And I definitely do need to go. I'll do Coral next time. Coral. The Corral is not in... So, post-youth. I can summarize post-youth real quick. Corral is not over here. Corral, there we go. Oh yeah, it's the other semi-air map. Oh yeah, this one, okay. Macro. Let me just bring up my... oh wait, what was the one I was just looking at? I was just looking at... Not Javelin, I already did that one. Macro, was it? Wait, where was the map that I was just looking at? Silver Flame, that's what it was. Silver Flame. Do I want it there? I think I want it there. Actually, I might be staying. Apparently they don't need me. I see how it is. Alright, well, there you go. Now we can talk about post-youth. Do I have to talk about post-youth? I want to talk about cool maps. Well, there you go. Basically, let me find the description of it again. It's a 4-level freestyle category short distance map. It's one of these. That's funny. Well, I don't like this description either. Don't tell me why you initially wanted to make it, unless that's still the case. Instead of that, they give me a description of why they originally made the map, and then they're like, instead of that, you have double, like what? It's probably supposed to mean both, but it's funny how it reads. It's like, it's like saying, coming into the room and saying like, hey, I set out, when making this map, I set out to try to, I was planning on making a good map, and I was going to do this, that, and the other thing, but instead I made this. That's just kind of the exact way that it reads. It's really funny to me. Basically, it's pretty obvious. You just have a pocket half gold base. They mentioned something about potentially doing a bomb cloud opener, Nexus or hatch first. I mean, people already do hatch first. Nexus first is rarer, but so they stick a second base into the main, and to compensate for that big boost in just money you can access from one base, they slap a second ramp onto the main. And each of these mineral fields has 10 minerals in it. 10 minerals per patch. I do not think there will ever be... last time I was talking about this, I said I do not think there will ever be a single situation where... And I even went as far as to say, if this was in the rotation for like Katowice or something, then I do not think a single game will be played where those minerals would be mined out. At this point, somebody brought up the good point of what if somebody was cannon rushing? Because you've got 2 probes with cannon rushing, and a second entrance to the main can be quite nice for cannon rushing. So yeah, there might be a couple games where it's mined out. However, cannon rushing is not the reason these were placed here. It doesn't balance out the fact that there's an in-base. Nah. The attacker will never be able to mine these out because it's right next to your main ramp. Pretty much always, if you're defending from your main, you're already sitting on top of these minerals. You're not going to see that the other person is... Yeah, okay. So, apart from cheeses, I guess I should just say in general, because I guess there are a good few situations where it could happen. In the intended purpose of letting them... And letting the player... And exposing the main base more to make up for the fact that there's an in-base. That they put a second ramp that could be opened. Your army will always be positioned in such a way that you will not be able to open that up, really. You will always see workers trying to come in and mine it and kill them basically immediately. And if you don't, I just don't know what to tell you. It's a massive skill issue. Like, you're sitting right here at the top of your ramp on your in-base. And then the only other situation is, okay, we gotta take a third. So we take one of these thirds, and you're still sitting your army right about here. There should be no situation ever where this is mined out. On the pro scene, at least. But, yeah, maybe they could drop a mule and run 4 Hellions in. But, then again, your army's already sitting right here. So, I mean, you might as well just drop 4 Hellions in instead. Maybe. Maybe against Zerg or something. That's a specific thing that could happen. But basically, this is just a free in-base that promotes turtling, essentially. How does Protoss stop 4 Hellions with a gateway front wall and a stalker tucked in it? I mean, yeah. I guess so. It would be really weird. And I feel like you can still kill... Because mules take a lot longer to mine, so I think you can still kill it. Where are you going to be positioning your stalkers to stop drops? I just think it's awful. I think it's a poor feature, poorly designed. I don't think we needed more turtling. I don't know. Um, it's I had a lot of other complaints about the rest of the map, but this really soured me immediately on it. I just was like, why would you put both ramps on the exact same spot? I don't know. Just why would you put both? Because you only have to defend one spot. It doesn't really make the whole. Apart from cheeses or little snarky things you can do with it that may or may not even work, it's not doing anything. If you wanted to do that and you wanted to actually make that a secondary way into the main to make the main actually vulnerable in any way, shape, or form, I mean, you could do one of these. You could do one of the things I saw on another map over here. Like, Deadwind was another. This is probably a nuke. I had a visceral reaction to it. Maybe not a complete nuke, because the problem is I'm not going to entirely nuke it, because yes, it's playable and all that. I'm not going to give it like a 1 or anything. Maybe a 2-ish. Maybe more. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to rate it. All I know is that I hate it. Technically, we're supposed to rate things on how they, if they should be used competitively or if they could be used competitively. And so the way I see the rating categories is basically this map can never be used competitively. Like it, and when I say cannot be used competitively, I mean that if it was in competitive rotation, it would never be played and everyone would hate it. You know, it's just the one insta-veto map in the pool always, you know? Or it's just not, you know... basically unplayable is the one. The 2 is kind of like, it could be played, but no. Red House is probably more of a 2, because 2 is... it could be played competitively, but it shouldn't. A 3 is it could be used competitively. A 4 to me is it should be used competitively, and a 5 is it should be used competitively, and I really like it. So for Red House, I also think that them adding that mineral wall was so stupid and really made the map a lot worse as well. But it's so scary when you give such defensive eco advantage because it favors some race more than others. I mean, yeah. I'm thinking, playing, every time I play Protoss, I always feel like I get two base all in from a Terran, and now the Terran doesn't even have to hold a natural. They can just sit on top of the one ramp the whole game. I can't even scout, really. I mean, maybe. I guess observers are... you know what I mean, though. Like, I can't really get any insight. They sit on these two bases, and then when they're ready, they just push across the map. And then I lose the game, and then we queue into the next one. There's no risk whatsoever. And then, yeah, and then it's a gold for some reason as well. Why is it a gold? I don't understand why it's a gold either. Yes, I think it does the exact I think it does the exact opposite. I think instead of making any matchup at all ever more interesting, it just makes every game the same thing where you just open up with a... Like, they said that they wanted to increase, like, Hatch first, Nexus first, CC first, whatever. I think there's no reason to ever do anything else in any matchup. Why would you get aggressive when your opponent can sit on the top of a 1x ramp in their main? 2 drones with 12 pool could be really good. That... Uh-oh. Yay, now I can nuke it. Anyways. But, like, still probably not. But, well, maybe not. But it's a gold in base. it's such a visceral reaction. And what I was going to say is what you could do, one of the things you could do, and it's funny because if you want to write some comments, I mean, you could do it in the map or circle channels that I don't see or something. I don't know. Or you could just type it in map. If you want me to see it eventually, you could type it in one of the channels I can see. And then because I've got my Discord, the OBS puts it in like streamer mode or whatever, so I don't see notifications and don't see anything until I open up Discord next time, which I don't really do. But anyways, it's funny because this Deadwind and the Gilded Veins, the feature they both have on their main ramps, I feel like is a cool feature, but I keep seeing like every other map I feel like would benefit much more from this feature. You know? Every map I'm seeing here is like, you know, it would be a lot easier to swallow the pill of these things if this was a thing. So for this case, this map is different from the other one. The other one had a 2k rock with the 3 armor and all that on top of the ramp. This one has 200 HP, I believe, this rock. So it's basic, and I believe it's either 1 or 3 armor. I can't remember which. But this one is essentially a supply depot at the top of the ramp to, you know, of course, stop the 12 pools from coming, and they don't stop coming, and they don't stop coming. Slap this feature onto this map, and boom, you kind of got like a ramp that can be opened up by an attacker to actually make the base less defensible. It's just like this, because this never will be mined for its intended purpose, which I assume the intended purpose is making this base more vulnerable and just to like a natural base, because this is not anywhere near like a natural base. Alternatively, you could move this ramp over somewhere else so that you can't defend both of these from the exact same spot. I mean, we kind of got options, but yeah, this map has a lot going on with it too. Just a lot of things happening here. But yeah, I would actually kind of like in the future to see some of these features be implemented in better ways. Because the way I see the way I kind of see this map Deadwind is kind of as a tech demo to show a bunch of different cool applications for different map features, you know? Like that ramp. Because that ramp, I've been looking at so many different maps and being like, this ramp would be a great feature for this, you know, this main or that main, you know, etc. Especially in this TLMC. But I kind of feel like it's wasted a little bit because there's so many features that have to be put in there that it's like, you know, it doesn't get the map isn't built around any of the one features for that one. So it's just kind of dominated by a bunch of different features instead of a couple of good ones. I don't know. Anyways, I did not like post-youth. Yeah, it's over here. Yeah, that's about right. Can you wall the low ground expo? You can't wall the natural low ground, so you have to take the in base. I mean, not against 12 pools or any early stuff like that, no. Which, I mean, that's why you wall, yeah. No, you cannot. And there's no reason to ever take that natural low ground either, because this is a half rich base. Why would you ever go for the non-rich half in base expansion in your main where you only have to defend one choke at the top of a ramp, like the furthest you could get away from your opponent. There's zero options here. If you're not taking this hybrid invase, you are an idiot. You know? We're going to stop that. Because that was, very negative. Yeah. So, who wants to 2-base tank all in? Me. Alright. That was kind of fun. It is kind of fun to have something that is very obviously one way or the other for me, but the Streed. Heartbound. Oh, Silver Flame. Mark you off. Silver Flame is on here. And Heartbound is next. Because I said so. Excuse me, what? I thought this was an image. Okay. They did not attach an image. I'm sorry to... Wait, what? Something is very wrong here. I can feel it in my bones. Oh, right. I wanted to nuke my, my system. Oh, I did. Wait, I've been automatically closing everything without realizing it. Alright. Well, that's convenient, isn't it? I guess my PC just sucks. Wait, why did I close the terrain? Ah, I see the hearts. What is this? Read map maker comments. I'm not going to read this one out loud. You guys can read it. Do it yourself. I keep trying to look at the image of the map. Give me a second. Alright, times that by 10. How did Limpy die? How did Limpy die? I'm not going to show you guys my entire file system on second thought. Oh, that map image just disappeared into the ether again. Where'd you go? Wait, SC2 map images. Oh, the second layer of map images. Right. So I had this thing where every time I reset my PC, my SC2 map images folder goes one deeper. And then I have... So I have 3 levels of map images right now. Just like a folder and a folder and a folder, and then that's the first folder. I could fix it any time, but I don't want to. I don't know why I don't want to, but I don't. You can't make me. around. Where was it? Here it is. Maybe not that one. That's fine. Whatever. I have it up now. Why did I do all that? That is no reason for that. Catching up with the stream, so I may have missed you figuring it out, but the Banes lower the HP on the Rock upon game start. Yes. I assume so, yeah. Multiple accessible expansion options. Wait, really? Multiple accessible. Oh, that gold base. The gold base over there. Huh. Okay. Yeah, they're fairly far away. Yeah. They are definitely far away. Yeah, so basically you can destroy the Zelmagas. Okay, so the main two freestyle things are that. Those can be opened up in that, okay. Huh, that is really cool that we can do all that. Main nat, thirds. Okay. I mean, it's just pretty much just a rate. There we go. Huh. Okay. That's rough. That ramp is very much eaten into by that. Hatch. Alright, let's see wall-offs real quick. It's fun on the overview that it shows. Wait, I thought I got rid of you. What did I get rid of? Triggers didn't update for some reason. Wait, what the heck?
Speak up.
Oh. Ah, I only changed it for that other one. Copy. Control B. Creature of habit, right? What was it? Reveal. reveal entire map. Wow, I keep getting off track.
Go ahead.
Wait,
What's
is that correct? Huh, the symmetry tool was off when I loaded it. Might have to check for some asymmetries. Awesome. I want to see this. 800 HP. Cool.
What's our target?
This also has 800. It's clipping.
Game.
I've definitely seen this map before a bunch. I remember seeing much earlier versions of this map. That is really fun. Well, the middle part of the map is a little rough because just generally it could use some beating, a little bit more beating. What's going on here? Huh, there's line of sight blockers there for some reason. I don't know. The gold base seems a little random. Like just a base needed to be there. Well, not a base needed to be there, but like no. I don't know. I don't know why this base is a gold base. That's what I'm trying to say. My brain is grinding to a halt today. I think that could have just as easily been just a completely normal base, and it would have been just as good. How much do these Zelnugs? These Zelnugs see the entire center of the map. Yeah. So the rush path, and let's look at a few things. Heartbound. 44 seconds, 37 seconds, 35 seconds. Okay. That's about right. Additional images. Let's look at these real quick. Is there something here where these... Or are these just nice aesthetics? It is quite aesthetically nice, yeah. Okay, these are just aesthetics. Kind of reminds me of Pride of Altaris a little bit. Pride of Altaris. This is a good song. Heavy news. Yeah, this map, it kind of reminds me of this map a little bit. Yeah. Yeah, that's what kind of made me think that the anal beating was a little bit off, because this is a choke, but it's more of a corridor choke. You have no. Well, that's because I mean, does YouTube mute the stream if I played copyrighted music? Like, would YouTube just mute this entire stream for the portion that was copyrighted? I think that's how they work. I mean, if that wasn't the case, I mean, I don't care about monetization, but I do care about watchability. So they might just mute everything. There are a lot of chokes on this map. Some of them are corridors, and corridors are generally not great. Like, for example, at the risk of deforming this heart into an atomical one, this could be made much better with just better beating. Like all of this right here, so that it would be open on both sides, and it's an actual choke. Because what happens when it's not a choke? I'm just gonna use stalkers. You've got your army like right here. That is a lot of stalkers in a small space, and then like. So let's see. Where's a good choke? Let's see. This is a good choke. You've got your army right here. The enemy can do like this and have the concave on you, and then you're trying to move forward, and you're like just having less units shoot at the same time, kind of deal. But with the freaking these, you can't really. Well, in this case, it's like that. You're about the same size, so corridors are just rough and usually good for tanks, especially narrow ones. This is good beating right here. This space is really far away from the rest of them. But yeah, don't know why. I don't feel like this space has any reason to be gold. How would I expand? I would expand, let me see. Hatch. Did I already test this? I think I already tested this. So it just mirrors. Oh no, that must be intentional. Yeah, that is intentional. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I already tested all this. I don't know. I mean, it's really standard, apart from a couple just minor mistakes. And then there's this, which is, I wonder if this is a mistake or something, because the ramp clearly goes straight into it. I think this one probably just needs a bit more time to cook at the very least. There's this, which is weird too. Really, it does just remind me of Pride. Except, yeah, the difference here between Pride and this here is that Pride has a lot wider middle of the map, which is kind of what it needs. And so wide, though, it does split into two chokes. Pride was funny map. Pride was very funny map. But yeah, Pride also was able to manage to stick more bases in here. All of the bases on this map are on the sides, which is kind of fine, but here's another one of those corridors. I don't know. I don't have many thoughts on this one. Like, the features, I mean, this Zelnaga is kind of just blatantly really, really good, which is also not great. It sees the entire center of the map, and it's not really contestable that much. Unless you're already on this side of the map. You're going to get a lot of vision from that. I don't know. Yeah, the point is you kill it. I don't know. I'm not entirely sure why these rocks need to be less, either. There doesn't seem to be a ton of intention on this one, but there are a couple of bad things. Overall, it's alright. I see a few places where you could potentially fit in more bases and stuff. How many bases does this have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 14 per player. Yeah, that's exactly what I am. Yeah, 14 bases per player. I'm trying to place it in for the moment here. Probably near the bottom here. Or, yeah, probably about that. There's not much to say on it. I do have some points of feedback for it, but it'd be really nice to see some more interior bases. And it'd be really nice if the Zelnogs weren't that good. It is confusing why the cooling towers are placed the way they are. I'd assume it'd be just as easy to go something like this. I don't know. Something like, I mean, not that because it's visually glitched, but the idea is there. Also, is it? No, it's not just me. There is man-made textures on organic cliffs. That causes me physical pain as well. I mean, it's not bad, though. Do I do one more? Do I do one more, or do I play Minecraft? No, I should do one more. My brain is getting bad and tired, though. Alright. I kind of want to save Black Lotus. Black Lotus is going to be good. Oh, now Black Lotus is Twilight. But there's a good chance that they actually fix Black Lotus into something a lot more playable. It wouldn't be nearly as funny as it was. Gosh darn, map makers improving on things that don't work. Alright. I'll do Atlantis. I'm feeling lucky. I'm kind of glad that this is the TLMC I'm judging. It's a lot more interesting to judge things that melt my brain from the inside out, and like try to judge maps that have intention and have like purpose behind, like Silver Flame. It had a bunch of new features that it's like, this is what I was trying to do. And then the judging is more about, does that successfully attain that goal? Or is it stupidly broken? Or is it doing nothing? Kind of things. So I think this is a much more fun one to judge, despite causing me physical pain at times. Because if I had to judge just one, if I had to judge like last TLMC, it'd be very difficult, of course. But the maps were not all things that made me physically rot and decay while sitting on the floor here. Don't ask why I'm sitting on the floor. I mean, well, the main reason I'm sitting on the floor here is because they don't pay the TLMC judges, and I have no money. So, Maybe we should petition to get me some money from TLMC. Freaking too poor for her chair. Map maker comments. Destroying the destructible rocks they're mining out the mineral wall in the main base. Yes. Leads to an additional backdoor expansion which can serve as your natural? The 6x6 rocks in front of this base make it easier to defend early on. The triangle-rich base is designed to provide a quick boost of income, but quickly mines out due to only having 4 rich nodes, 900 each, and 2 regular nodes. Taking the triangular base will also help defend the backdoor base. Yeah, you would be rotating in front of the base instead of behind it, yeah. So there's this weird thing that keeps happening where it's like, there becomes a point where you stop wanting to defend. Like, most of the time, once you take one of the outside bases, I don't think you want to be rotating through your main. I think the time in which you're wanting to rotate through your main is relatively short. And then you start wanting to rotate kind of in front of the bases, because if you're at your third right here, you're not gonna walk into your main and then through the back door. You're gonna walk in front of the base. So naturally all of the main ramps or the rotations through the main have a relatively short lifespan quite often. Anyways. The healing shrines on this map make use of a single air blocker to prevent air units from using it. The healing shrine will heal you, but is also dangerous thanks to the slow zone added with the dead end. So, okay. No air units, and you're trapped. Okay. Alright, let's open it up. Maximilian von Spee. Good music. Dirt Poor Robins. Good band. Okay. Breakdown. Some fun background deco. Pretty easy to make too. Wait a minute. Yeah, that cliff wall looks good. Yeah. Sharks everywhere. Alright, so 2x4. I see myself in chat. Well, I see me at least. I forgot to export it again. I need to... Oh, no. I need to open that last map again so I can get it. This is going to take too long. I'm just going to redo it again. Okay. Yell at me until I freaking do this right. Reveal. Entire map. See, this is the part where you stop saving time, because now you're just redoing the same thing that would have just taken this much time to... You see. Awesome. I want to see how much help those 2x4s have. 2003. And these have 5. So, we're not really going to be destroying these rocks for a while. Alright. Wait. So far, I've never really used anything other than the freaking drones, but that's that, so. Okay, speed 10. Please, I just need the creep spread. Well, that's a bit of a sad gamer moment. Can you even wall it off here at least? No. No, you cannot. Womp, womp. What? Womp, womp. Alright. So it's only a 6 building wall off. That's fine. I'm sure that's fine.
Game.
Uh-oh. 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 Well. This at least, no, stop that. Give me this.
Big job, huh?
I must have a... Yeah. Why did somebody say womp womp? And why is this... You're clearly powered. Yeah, this is fine. Mostly. It's a little big, but it's fine. Like, I would like to know why womp womp.
What's going on? Yep.
Mineral field depleted.
Yeah, so you can really quickly mine this out just for the cost of a little bit of mining time.
Mineral field depleted. Mineral field depleted.
My eyes are starting to glaze over occasionally. This is what happens when I start losing my mind at the end of the night.
Field depleted. Mineral field depleted.
I will form coherent thoughts later. I'm gonna just make a note. I think I'm just gonna end it before I just start wasting y'all's time. Because I'm barely thinking anymore. Last thing to do though is to check out what Black Lotus did now. What did they do? Actually, is that a 3x ramp? That's a 3x ramp. So 3x ramp on the Nat and no rock tower to block it off. That's good. This isn't gonna load, is it? All the rocks, of course, are gone except for that one. That's also good. It's all mineral walls now. I mean, it's a lot better. I guarantee you this map will get nuked by the other judges. It'd be funny to do it in Unity. That said, this is a lot better than it was. With just a couple very small changes. That center of the map... What the fuck? That is so open. I mean, forget Fields of Death. This is insane. Okay. Well, you got that. At least on the sides here, you've got like a 2x ramp into here. Still mad on this one. Alright. There's a previous ladder candidate. Balance changes and missed QA fixes. Concept of Black Lotus is a pseudo... Really? They should have said semi-island map. Come on. Semi-island map. Ground attack paths exist, but are not readily available, which reduces strain on air-based openers and playstyles. Which makes air-based openers and playstyles completely the only way to play the game. They should get a semi-air map. Yeah. But may also give a false sense of security, as it is not a true island map and dead airspace sparse. Okay, so they're saying there's not much dead airspace. Yeah. Describe all the features that distinguish it from normal maps. No, I don't want to. You can't make me. Anyways. Insomniac Days. Doze. Wait, it's a freestyle category? Oh my goodness, he's leveled up! He's leveled up! It's a 5-level freestyle... Oh my goodness. It's a 5-level freestyle category map! Yo, I gotta see this. I gotta see this shit. Oh my goodness. Pog. Even get an extra image. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. Oh my goodness, guys, it's a half gold. Oh my goodness. I couldn't have seen this from the overview. No, I'm kind of being a little bit mean there. It is really funny that all of them are named the exact same way, though. My goodness. That said, wait a minute. What? Wait, what the fuck? What the fuck? I shouldn't be swearing as much. What? Why? Why? How many bases are there? 18 bases. Okay, so they wanted more bases. This message is held for review. Yeah, your message is being held for review. Here, I'll let you guys, what? Here. There you go. Now you can screenshot it if you want. Because I'm assuming you're all chomping at the bit too. But... what? See, dynamic isn't the only place where we get freestyle. My goodness. So... now, time to hand type the URL. What will you do now? What will you do now? You have nothing I can't take. Get annihilated. So are those smokes? What was I looking at before? I was looking at Black Lotus, and then I was looking at this. Oh. Time to rewind. Yeah. Not if I play copyrighted music and get this entire video removed immediately. You got it through rewind. Okay, so these are smokes. Wait, is that a Terran? This is a Zelnaga artifact. Why is there Terran on one of the three? Like, it says Terran Protoss Zerg. Why? Like, the Zelnaga did not make the Terran. I digress. Wait, no, that's not Terran. Wait, fourth faction confirmed? I think fourth faction confirmed. Anyways. Yeah, we learned that there's a fourth faction on the way from Blizzard in the form of a single doodad that was newly introduced in TLMC19. The deco is pretty cool. I do not think I am mentally equipped to handle the brain damage I will receive from analyzing this map at the moment. Like, okay, so how much is in this gas? A little more than normal. It's 250 more gas than normal. Wait, is that actually standard for the rich gases? Like, if I just slapped down a rich gas. No, I accidentally, I accidentally clicked the down button. Vespine. I'm sorry, I'm just really winding down here. I'm really, so, I have like, okay, yeah, it is normal. I have like 3 different medications, and 2 of them are being still denied after earlier. So I got access to that one that's like literally going to make sure that I don't die on the spot, or like I get to continue living like in a relatively healthy way. But I still don't have any. Yeah, you can judge for me. Come on, Let me just find a better map for you to judge. Let's go to... Alright, where is one? Yes. I want you to judge this map. Yeah, basically I'm out of ADHD, or almost out of HD meds, so I'm having to ration them. I'm having to schedule as much judging as possible in the times where I can think. But we saw me collapse here on stream. That's sus. Letting him judge for me on this map. Oh wait, no, that's sus. So. You want to know what else is more sus? I'll show you what is more sus than that. Well, I almost feel like I should just end the judging stream right now and then just kind of go into the Discord or something, because I'm kind of pretty much done for now. Where is it? Where's Sagoma? Sagoma. I actually don't see it. Well, we can't open it in the editor. But I want to point out once again that these are not Amogus. They are Amogus with a leg missing. No. No, so basically what happened here is all of the crewmates had a wrench taken to their leg, and it caved inwards, so they're all kind of limping around. That's what's going on. That's why they look like this. Anyways, there you go. This is actually a much better angle. I'm talking about the file you dumped. You're dealing psychic damage, alright? I'm dealing psychic damage to myself. Really? Was it in my downloads folder again? Sagoma. Oh, it's right there. I used to be a fighting type, and then I took an arrow to the knee. Yeah. Have fun sleeping. I'll probably... Let me see, what's tomorrow? Is tomorrow... Tomorrow's Saturday, right? I might be able to stream tomorrow, too. But I'll probably be spending... I'm probably going to be not streaming very often, because I only want to do it when I have a lot of kind of ground to cover or whatever. I'm just kind of having fun. Because I'm bad at forming thoughts here when I'm on stream. Or making good time. Anyways. I'm just going to fix this map real quick. This is so intricate. Look at that. It's a really... I actually really like the deco. Just... It's funny. You have to keep... I keep tilting my head to see it. Anyways. I'm going to close this. And yes, save changes. Don't worry, I'll upload that one for you. I'll upload to all servers. That's gonna be it, though, for me as well. Alright. I will be next time I stream. Remind me to start on Atlantis because I didn't really give that any time here. All right, bye bye.